Okay, so last night the branch that was right here, you could see it broke and it fell in between our two houses down to here. And this is the enormous branch that has fallen. It hit the air conditioning unit. It's pretty badly dented there. Not sure if that's, well, it's gonna have to be replaced probably. And then it also took this piece of I don't know, fascia or whatever this is that's hanging down here. It clipped that on its way down and also broke this window on the second floor here. That's all broken glass. And there's also some pieces of siding that have come off somehow as part of this. You can see it's tugging it down there. It also hit part of our fence here. You can see it just smashed this part of the fence. You can see there's a bunch of broken glass in the yard from that second floor window. Hit the hedge here. That poor hedge cushioned its blow. You can see there's pretty big dent in the ground here where part of the tree came down, or part, this branch. Looks like it may have hit the gutter, I don't know. But yeah, this is all looking kind of rough here. That was a couple months ago, and you could see this tree in the backyard. We got pretty nervous about it, didn't we, Tiffany?
Yeah, so this is a tree of heaven, which is an invasive tree species. It just grows like a weed, and they grow really fast, but they aren't good quality trees. So the health was in decline, and we were worried about the future.
Yeah, and as you can see, many years ago, the previous homeowners had built their deck around this tree. So in order to get the tree out, the deck was the first sort of casualty. You can see we sort of cut the deck in half because we still needed stairs to get out the back steps. We'll rebuild that later. And as you can see, the tree almost has like a tan line because the deck has been around it
for who knows how many years. I mean, the tree's probably at least 30 years old, and the deck is probably 20 years old, so...
Yeah, so here it is tree day, and as you can see, they're bringing this big old truck with a cherry picker in between our house and the neighbor's house, and they were going pretty slowly because it's a tight squeeze to get this giant truck in between our two houses here, but luckily they managed, and you can see it's sort of parked in our side yard here. So what they did was they got up on the cherry picker and they started taking these branches down. And the way that they did it, because we have a power line right here, as you could see, they almost used the tree itself almost like a pulley system, attaching ropes to the branches as they cut them.
That way they could lower them down into specific spaces without endangering our house, the neighbor's house, or the power line.
Yeah, kind of gently, because we've already had one tree branch falling violently this year, which started all this process. So it was good to get them down in a real gentle, controlled fall. And as you can see, as they would bring them down here, they would basically take the rope off the branches, and then they'd haul the rope back up to get another branch and bring that down safely. Branches of all different sizes.
And they got the tree to the point where it was just like one very tall stick sitting straight up in the air, and then it was time to take it down kind of in piece by piece in different larger chunks.
And then at that point, the next step was they cut sort of this wedge shape in the area that's facing us, and they had two guys pulling on the tree, and then they used the chainsaw to cut that last bit that was holding it.
So that way it would fall into the yard away from our house.
Yeah, and as soon as it fell down, we realized that the inside of the tree, this part of the tree, had been black. It turned out to be the case because there were actually some bugs inside that were eating at it and possibly damaging the structural integrity of the tree. You can see here's one of these bugs. This is not on the ground. This is actually within the tree. The inside of the tree was this was their food source, basically, and it almost was like dirt. You can see how soft and malleable it is. So we're pretty relieved that we got the tree down before maybe it fell on the neighbor's house or our house, because clearly it was not as structurally sound as it was many years ago when it was a younger tree.
Yeah, it was amazing when they were chopping it down. It literally cracked in half, which is an indication that could have been something that happened in the next couple years as the tree got weaker and weaker. We could have seen big damage.
Sure. So the next step was grinding the stumps. So they have almost like a circular saw, a giant circular saw that they're moving back and forth on this stump, kind of sweeping it back and forth, which is just disintegrating the stump. It was kind of cool to watch them do this process. And you can see wood is flying everywhere. So this is the indoor shot from our kitchen window. This is the after we kind of have had this tree out. You can see there's quite a lot of sun in the backyard. This is mid-afternoon. And you can see it's just super sunny, which it never was before. This is right here. This is the before shot. You can see it's just super shady in here pretty much all day. And then with that tree out, it's a whole different feeling backyard now.
It's much more open, and one of the benefits that we're getting is now our garden beds that are in the back of the yard are getting light all day. Before, they didn't get light in the morning because that tree was blocking it, but now we're getting substantial sunlight.
Yeah, you could see here, so we have our little deck stairs, and we'll need to replace those when we get a new deck. But they did a nice job really grinding the stump down. It's fairly flat.
It's like it was never there.
Yeah, it's like it was never there. You can see here's the side yard. You know, we used to have this bush that was in the middle of these two houses, and it was damaged when the tree fell. And then when they brought the big truck in, they had to cut it down, of course, to get the truck through. And you can see now our side yard is pretty barren, pretty desolate. So another big project for us is going to be really planting new stuff.
Another project for another time.
Yeah, so thank you to all our subscribers who are watching our videos. We certainly will be including more updates about this project of landscaping the yard and kind of next steps, deck and all that, and gardening as we go forward. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.